Hi, welcome to Virtual Open House. I'm Ms. Bond, your student's English 1-2 teacher. First off, I want to give you my contact information. I respond to email, or you can call my classroom phone extension. Down at the bottom here, we have my office hours for if your student needs to get extra help. That's when they can schedule an appointment with me virtually. I want to go over some of the basics of how our class runs and what the expectations are. We're using two virtual platforms, and those are Google Classroom and WebEx. Google Classroom is where all of our assignments will be, unless I tell them otherwise. And WebEx is where we have our class meetings virtually via video chat. Attendance is taken during those WebEx class periods. They are required, and I do take attendance both at the beginning and the end because students should be there the entire time, every time that I tell them to come in. It'll be broken up into sessions within that 90 minutes, but if I tell them they need to be there, they're responsible for that attendance. Here we have the late work policy. I take off 10% for each day that an assignment is late, up to 50%. Late assignments can be turned in for credit for up to 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, parental involvement is required to earn credit on unexcused late work. Students can always talk to me about if there's something going on, some issue why they can't, but in general, that's the policy. And down here we have the weighted breakdown of the grades, how much each category weighs into their final grade. Here we have a list of the course outcomes, the things that we're reading, and the things that we are writing this semester. Remember that because we are on a block schedule this year, they're doing a full year's worth of English in the time between now and December. So we are moving at a faster pace. We have the longer class periods, and there will be more work in those class periods. These are some of the things we'll be reading, and do take note that we have what we call the PDA later this semester, and that is our district writing assessment. This one is over explanatory writing. Here's a few of our policies for classroom behavior. The attendance policy is restated there, as well as policy on not having electronics out during class and our bathroom policy and being present in class. Here I have the expectations for their behavior during WebEx. WebEx is our class period time, so I expect them to treat it as a professional classroom environment and be dressed and behaved accordingly in terms of everything that's covered here, how they use the mic, how they use the chat, what they're saying, how they participate. So please take the opportunity to look over those and know what is expected of your student. It's important to me that you have a role in your student's education. So here are some ways that you can help your student. The first is just to instill good attendance habits. Make sure they're present and on time to WebEx meetings. As I said before, those are our class periods, so it's important that they be there. They're not optional. It's important that they be on time. I open up the WebEx class 5 minutes before the start. They should log on during that time so that we have the full amount of time, can begin as soon as class time starts. And they should be there for the entire time that we are participating. If they can't for some reason, they should definitely contact me and let me know. Another thing you can do is you can sign up for Parent View, which allows you to check your students' grades anytime you want. Students have Student View and can and should check their grades regularly as well, but sometimes they need a little bit of extra encouragement and monitoring from your end of things. Make sure that your student is doing their coursework. The main reason that students fail is because they don't turn in assignments, especially as they're working on their own and I'm not able to see them in person. It's important to make sure that they're staying on task, being responsible, and getting all of their work done. You can also ask your student what they did in class that day and talk to them about it. That helps them process and engage with it on another level, and it communicates to them that this is something that you value and that they should value as well. The last thing that you can do that is very helpful is encourage them to read for fun on their own. The more students read, the better they are at reading, and the better they are at writing, and they will do better, not just in my class, but in their classes overall. Here's a little bit of information about me. I have lived in Phoenix since I was 10, specifically in this Thunderbird community. I went to Thunderbird High School and I graduated from here. I went to Arizona Christian University for my bachelor's degree. I have a degree in secondary education. And then I went to Grand Canyon University for my master's and got a master's of English. Graduated both summa cum laude. I then did my student teaching at Thunderbird and have been here for 4 years. And lastly, here we have the bell schedule so that you have that available for your reference. I want to thank all of you for your understanding and your patience and your support. This is certainly an unusual year, and we're all trying to figure out the best way to make it work. So I appreciate everything that you do to help your students and make this year successful. Goodbye.